Good afternoon. This is Mr. Bechtold. Our lecture today will be creating a chart for data. As you can see here, our spreadsheet looks like we've got 3 bags of candy, 7 different colors in each bag, as well as a different quantity of each color in the different bags. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down here for our instructions, and our instructions here say to use functions for the totals of each bag and use a formula to calculate the averages of each color. Create a chart for all 3 bags of candy and for the average as well. Chart should have no legend, and change the pie chart to reflect the color of the candy in the bag. Once again, once you're complete with all this, you're going to save as Candy1 in your last name. Rename, if necessary, the sheet tabs and put in order bag 1, bag 2, bag 3, and average. Rename the sheet 1 tab by naming it Data. After finished, save both as a spreadsheet and a PDF in Formula View. Upload the PDF and chart 1 and 3 to Shobi. So that's our instructions, and that's what we are going to kind of do today. So if I read this correctly, it says here that we should use a formula to calculate the average and a function to calculate the total. So the function would be equal sum. And I'm going to go ahead and highlight those. And that's 54 pieces, and I'm just going to go ahead and fill that since I've got that right. And then a formula starts out with a plus, and we got to have a beginning parenthesis because we have to remember the order of operations. And then in the parenthesis and divide by 3 since we have 3 bags. And then we're going to go ahead and fill that. So that was quick. Once again, using a function, using a formula. Our next step is going to be now to talk about highlighting or selecting. When I'm talking about highlighting or selecting, I just highlighted and selected the colors. That's either process called highlight or select. I may interchange those. You'll see a number of textbooks that'll have and use one or the other, or sometimes they'll combine them together. But anyway, so our first thing that we're going to do here is we're not going to highlight. When we did some sorting, we highlighted the header row. But in this case, we're just going to go ahead and highlight the colors. And then as I highlight the colors, I can go ahead and scroll over. And now I've highlighted the colors in the bag. And we'll never include the total. This chart is going to be comprised of 54 pieces. If we included the total, then we would be making this chart of 108 pieces. And if we used the pie chart, it would literally be split in half. And half of it would be 54 pieces called total, and the other half would be the 7 different colors of the bag, which we don't want to do. And then to be able to create a chart, we go up to the insert up here. And once again, I caution you to both have the template open as I'm working on this, as well as be taking notes. So most of the time we spend a lot of time on the Home tab. We've also spent some time on the Data tab and Page Layout tab. But in this case, we're going to go to the Insert tab. And we're going to use that. We could use a column chart. We probably wouldn't use a line chart. We kind of think that over time. We could use a bar chart. But for something like this, I'm kind of going to prefer the pie chart. And then just kind of for fun here, I'm going to go ahead and make this a 3D pie. And there's our 3D pie with our legend to the right. And notice the pie is rather large, so I'm going to pull it down and shrink this pie down a little bit. And so once again, there's my pie chart. There are my 7 different colors. This pie is comprised of, once again, 7 different colors, total of 54 pieces. You'll remember the instructions said we don't want to use a legend, and I'm going to show you why. One of the reasons why, obviously, here the blue M&Ms actually look like it's signified by a red legend, and I'd really like the blue M&Ms to be blue here rather than red. Once again, if we go up here to the chart layout window, I'm going to go ahead and click on the very first chart layout. And this very first chart layout gives us both the title, the color, and the percentage, which is what I want to use. So our first process here is going to be just to go ahead and select the chart. And I know I have it selected because I have handles all around the chart. Those are called handles. And the interesting thing about the handles is I'm going to go ahead and select just one piece of pie, and you notice now it just has 3 handles. And the nice thing about that piece of pie is I can pull that piece of pie out of there if I want to. I'm not going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to go ahead and put that there. But if I wanted to, I could pull that out and use this on a PowerPoint slide or on a Word document and kind of really talk about that piece of pie. Once I have it selected, I'm going to left click on the piece of pie, not the label. If I right click. If I right click on the label, it highlights all the labels, and I don't want to do that. I just want to select one piece of pie, right click, and say Format Data Point. Beautiful. And that right there, we want to fill it. We want to go with a solid fill, and we want to go with red, because that's what color it says it's supposed to be. Then I'm going to select the next piece of pie, and I'm going to fill that. Solid fill, and you'll notice it says it really should be blue. I'm going to go ahead and select the next piece of pie. We're going to fill. We're going to go a solid color, and it says it should be green. I'm going to move this so I can see where I'm at here. This part of the pie, I'm going to select it. Once again, I got handles all around it. Fill, solid. It looks like it wants it to be yellow, or should be yellow. Now it wants it to be yellow. Select this. Now we're going to go fill. We're going to go solid, and it looks like it wants me to go with purple. Select my brown piece. I'm going to fill it. That's a pretty good brown. See if we can find something that maybe we might like a little better. Let's see. I'm not sure that's a great brown piece, but maybe that's even a little better. Perfect. And last but not least, we have our orange piece. We're going to go with a solid fill, and then we're going to go with an orange color. Beautiful. And then I'm going to go ahead and close that. So here is our pie chart now. And you'll notice that we have turned each color of this pie and corresponded to the actual color of the candy. So we no longer need the name anymore here. We'd still like to have the 11%. Also, you notice these lines are called leader lines that lead from the pie to the color and the percent if they're far away from the chart. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select the entire chart, right click, and then say Format Data Labels. And the little bit thing different about the Format Data Labels here is I'm going to get rid of category name because I no longer, category name, because I no longer need to see the orange. Why did it not do that though here? Okay, category name, and I'm going to hit OK. Oh, yes. Perfect mistake I made here. Notice I had just one label, and it got rid of the category name. I'm going to go ahead and select the, once again, entire pie, format, oops, did that wrong, format the entire pie, right click, Format Data Labels, so that all my labels are highlighted. Now I get rid of it, there we go. Boom. And if I want to, I can pull these out. If I pull them out, it'll start giving leader lines. That way I can kind of see a little bit more of my pie. Beautiful. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on the chart here, highlight that. I'm going to just call this Bag 1 Bechtold. Oops. My cap lock on. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and say Move Chart. It's right up here. You notice on Chart Tools, I'm going to go Move Chart. And I'm going to create a new sheet. If I do Object In, it will actually put that right on the spreadsheet itself. It would take this and put it right on the spreadsheet. I don't want that on the spreadsheet. I want to do a new sheet. And I'm going to call this Bag 1. And I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And you'll notice now I just have Bag 1 Bechtold. And there's my Bag 1. And my Sheet 1 is actually my data. I'm going to double click on that and just call that data. If I can spell. Beautiful. If I want to and go back to Bag 1, you'll notice I kind of messed this up a little bit. I could go ahead and click on that and put Bag 1 Bechtold. And I'm just going to go ahead and click on that, hold it down and move it to the right one. And now I have, beautiful, move this. So I got data, Bag 1, Sheet 2 is blank, Sheet 3 is blank. I'm going to go back to my data. Now I want to create a chart for Bag 2, which is a non-adjacent or unadjacent. I'm going to go ahead and select down. And then while I hold my control key, go in the same direction. One of the things you don't want to do is go down in this column and then hold the control key and go up in that column. You don't want to do that. That can cause you some trouble. So I'm going to go down in this column. I'm going to go down in that column. Then if you remember, I'm going to go up to Insert. I'm going to insert a pie chart. I'm going to go with a 3D pie. Same thing, I have to pull this down a little bit so I can see my data. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and select that first one so that it gives me my colors along. I'm going to go ahead and select the pie, select the first piece of pie, right click, format data points, and I'm going to turn that into yellow. So I'm going to fill that, and I'm going to go solid color, and I'm going to go yellow. And then I'm going to go ahead and select on the purple one, fill, solid color. I'm going to go purple. This one looks like a brown one, fill, solid color, brown. Now you'll notice here I have something kind of interesting. I have all these colors, but I have 1, 2, 3, a little piece of pie called color 0. Because if you look up here, I accidentally highlighted bag 2. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that at all. So once you've done that, what you might want to do is go ahead and just select your chart and delete it. And then start all over. Now go to Insert. Now go to Pie. 3D Pie. Pull it down a little bit. And you'll notice now I did not highlight the C1 cell. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and now you can see I have 7 pieces of pie. I'm going to go ahead and select one piece, format data point, fill, solid. I'm going to go ahead and click on the yellow, it turns it yellow. I'm going to go ahead and fill, solid. Looks like this one should be brown. Click on the brown. Alright. No, that should have been purple. I'm sorry. There's the purple. Beautiful. This one should be brown. Fill. Solid. One's a brown one. This one's an orange one. Fill. Solid. Orange. This one's red. Fill. Solid. Red. This one's going to be blue. Solid. Where's my blue? Get a nice color blue there. And the last one is green. Solid. This one's green. Beautiful. So now I have all those. Once again, let's not make the same mistake that I made last time. Select the entire pie, not just a piece. Seeing here, I just selected one piece. Now I want to go ahead, unselect, and then select the entire pie. Once I have the entire pie selected, right-click, format data labels, so all the labels get highlighted. Get rid of the category name. Once again, I'm going to pull that out a bit. Put some little leader lines on there. This one is called Bag 2 Bechtold. I'm going to move the chart, a new sheet. I'm going to call it Bag 2, and I'm going to click on OK. And you'll notice once again now I have a Bag 2 with the percentages on there. Notice I have my data Bag 1, and I'm going to just go ahead and click on the Bag 2 and move it over behind Bag 1. So now I've got data, Bag 1, Bag 2. If I go to my data, I'm now going to create a chart for Bag 3. So this should conclude that. Once again, I'm going to ask you to put this in 2 different ways. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that and make sure that I can see all of that, and then save it as Candy 1 Bechtold. And then when I'm done with that, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save that as a PDF as well. Then I'm going to go here to Bag 1, and I'm going to go boom, and I'm going to save as. And then when I save it, I'm going to save it once again in my Dropbox, or not my Dropbox, in my documents. And I'm going to rename this. I'm going to save it as a PDF. And this would be Bag 1 Bechtold. So that when I save it, it's going to save it as a PDF. You'll see the PDF should come up here shortly, and then I will actually upload that PDF into my Shobi. This concludes the presentation. Once again, when you've completed this, you will be uploading 3 total PDFs. One of them will be of the spreadsheet itself in Formula View, and then of the bag 1 in a PDF and bag 3 in the PDF. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.